Hi guys, so yeah, welcome to the interview with Choko or Choko today, and we'll be just chatting to her about her musical journey and her upcoming album. Choko, hello,
Hi.
are you good?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. We are forced to be indoors, so it is what it is. How are you coping? By the level 4 lockdown.
I am going crazy. I am literally going crazy because I have small kids. My oldest is 5, the youngest is 2. So I am
Mm.
literally losing it.
Esh,
But
hang in there.
it's it's all good. It's all good.
Hang in there. I can imagine, being stuck with kids all day, every day. You can't even take them to crash or the park or anything like that. Hang in there, hang in there.
Nothing. Nothing.
So Choco, your name is derived from the Sotho or Tswana name Boichoko, ne?
Tswana.
Tswana.
Tswana, yes. Yes.
So, and I know that you're from Bloom. How was it like, as a young Boichoko there in Bloom in the Free State growing up? How was it like?
So I actually grew up in Kronstadt because my parents divorced when we were still very young.
Mm-hmm.
So my twin sister and I, uh, because we were the youngest, had to stay with my mom, legally, and in Kronstadt. So we schooled in Kronstadt till we matriculated, and then we moved to Bloemfontein, and that's when we stayed with our dad. But um, throughout, we still frequented Bloemfontein a lot because it's home, and a lot of family members at that site.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I didn't
So
know.
so so
Yeah, no, no.
so, so growing up in Kronstadt rather, it's an area right? So it's I think my name was always very difficult and people couldn't understand what kind of a name is this. It's very strange
Yeah,
in an area where people speak Sesotho, but in Bloemfontein it was easy because there's a lot of Boichokos.
yeah, yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
know that you're a twin. What are the dynamics of being a twin?
Well, you have a bestie. You have a best friend that you fight with the most, but that always has your back. My sister have always been, uh, we are best friends before anything else, before our husbands and our families and everything else. And
Mm.
our relationship is still that strong to this day.
Okay, no, I had to ask that question because I'm fascinated by twins. Which is weird, but hey, we should be used to twins by now, but I'm not. So that's why that's why I asked you that question. Okay,
Mm,
so I know a lot of singers. They start their career in church and school.
mm,
And
mhm.
was it the case for you? How did you get into music?
Absolutely. Cliche as it may sound, but that's exactly how it started.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I come from a Christian family grounded background, and I was shy. I still am, I think. um, very, very, very an introvert, literally. But funny enough, even at school, I was always picked to be the one who leads choirs and a very uncomfortable position to be in when you are a very very shy person like I was.
Mm.
And even worse, my aunt was a Sunday school teacher. So my twin sister and I had no way out of leading and taking leadership roles at church because of her. So it was a
Mm.
church, it was school as well. That's where the foundation really was laid.
And being a performer and being an introvert, how do you now navigate those social challenges where now you have to be on stage And I can imagine, especially in high school or in school, you kind of like become popular as, you know, that girl that can sing. How did you overcome that?
You know, funny enough, at school, in high school, I did not sing because, the choir was good and they sang so beautifully. I actually wanted to be part of it. But that teacher used a stick, like he would smack, oh my God, the living out of the. So I was like, I love singing and there's no way I'm going to be forced to sing a note out, being beaten for it. So I never participated. I blatantly refused at high school. But at church, obviously, I was still very much active. And it's only post then at varsity that I again started with the auditionings, and I became part of the University of the Free Gospel Mass Choir, one of the leaders as well. And actually saw me doing my first performance with the choir on SABC2 Gospel Time, the show by Rebecca, yes. And from there, I think I just realized that I really love this and it's in me and I can give it a try, you know. I was encouraged a lot to start writing, which I struggled. I really struggled because as coming from a Christian background, I just thought the best way to go about this, which is the only way that I knew how at the time, was for root, right? I went to study a couple of times. My dream was to sing hymns, you know, sing hymns. And a lot of people discouraged me. A lot of people told me that I was still young, that what I wanted to do was actually boring and maybe a little bit bigger than what I could comprehend as a little girl back then. But I thought, I just moved to Johannesburg, and you know, there's times and challenges that one faces where you feel like, oh, I miss home. I miss how my grandmother or my mom would sing a particular hymn, you know, and that was much entrenched in me. And I wanted to give people that experience who are away from home, that there's a gospel album like this by Choko that will actually take you back home, you know, when you are going through circumstance, whatever emotional or that you could possibly be facing. So that's the route that I wanted to take, and I was discouraged completely. I think I was young and very naive, so I just decided, you know what, I'm not going to do this. But I tried writing, and my writing derived me to Afrosoul, and it released an album, Lerato.
And that was in 2014. And
yes.
You know, you're young, you're releasing like, you know, an Afrosoul album, but originally you wanted to do hymns and all that, and you touched on why. So how was that experience like for you when you dropped the album?
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was well received. I think I enjoyed the journey of Lerato, and it has helped me to learn a lot about the industry, about the challenges that one can face in it when you're just an independent artist, the way that I had approached things as well. And look, I've learned a lot from the journey of Lerato album, and it made me want fall in love more with Afrosoul, and I'm still writing songs, and I believe that even in the future there will be something coming out in that space.
What are some of the valuable lessons, you know, that you learned along the way with, you know, dropping an album as an independent artist?
That is very expensive to pursue this career. Very expensive, and that you have to put. It has to be about the love of music more than you wanting to get riches out of it, and that you shouldn't. I don't know how to say this. not invest a lot of emotions in it.
Mm.
No, there's the music side of it,
Mm.
and there's business side of things as well that has to be maintained and pushed forward for you to be relevant and I don't know, maybe also to sell a story that is believable and that resonates with what people are going through, what people want to hear, and what people can relate to.
And you dropped the album 2014, and you won a SATMA in 2015. What did you win a SATMA for?
I believe it was for best female artist. I was nominated amongst Simpiwe Na Unati, The Soil. I can't remember the other group, but it was quite a huge achievement for me to be to be awarded that accolade amongst heavyweights such as those.
I can imagine, as an independent artist, to like you said, to win an accolade in the same category as those giants must have been overwhelming. What did that now mean to you as an artist when the industry says to you, like, okay, we see you, you're doing a good job? What did that mean to you?
It meant that I still have to do a lot of work. I don't even think that I have reached half of the impact that I really anticipate. I think there's still a work to be done, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
You're ready for it, and now it's July, and you have plans to drop something in July 2021 on the 16th, which is like an album. So tell us about that project.
Okay, so that project, it is a gospel album finally. And it's very funny. God works in mysterious ways. I knew that I would eventually, this was an inevitable route that would all, one way or the other, happen, that I would end up with a gospel album. But I did not think that it would have to take deep pain that would literally push me to that space once again. I did 2 years ago.
Sorry
and
about that.
Yeah, and I think it was one of the most painful experience that I've ever had to come across or had to deal with. The journey of pain and grieving that came with it was overwhelming. And being the church girl that I've always been, I really struggled to deal with its passing, with the emotions that came with that, and just even relating with God afterwards, because I felt like, this happened so sudden. I was not prepared for it. I felt loved at the time. I felt like He could have prepared me better, always been such a daddy's girl. And I don't know. I knew I was not else. I'm not immune to death. Even in my family, I did not expect my parents to live forever. But I thought, there will be gradual steps that one would go through, that will help you to accept when something like this hits. Do you know what I mean? He would get sick, and we will get an opportunity where he will just be lying there, and we'll just have to maybe hold hands and just pray for his spirit to be released, something like that. I don't know. Or he would go on hospital, something like that, you know. But it just happened so quick. He was okay. The next day, he didn't wake up. You know, it was just one of. So I really battled with the feelings afterwards, and I took it to God when I could no longer, because I'm a worshiper even at church, and I was like, you know, it would hurt that even that in that dark space and moment that I was going through emotionally, I would want to sing something, and I love hymns, and I would sing him, and in the middle of it, I would just break down and be like, I can't be worshiping a God who had me so bad. You will have to give me a reason why you did this and why you did it the way that you did, you know? Because I had a good relationship that you could have protected me from this. And God being God, he just took me back, you know, like something was just switched on, a button was switched on in the back of my head. He took me back to a moment where I believe the seed of worshiping was laid in my heart. I think it was around 6-7 years. Back at home, my grandfather and his old friend would meet every Sunday. So the house was still under construction. There was this particular room that we used to sit in every Sunday, expecting people to come to church. Obviously, we would set up chairs, everything, and there was no roof. It was just walls up, and people wouldn't come. Sundays went by, months went by, people wouldn't be coming, and it was just me and him, my grandfather, his friend, and myself, obviously. And they would sing, they would worship, they would sing hymns, and that's where I learned how to worship, how to get a personal relationship with God. Back then I was still young, I didn't understand what they were doing. I just loved the melody, enjoyed leading, and them getting impressed that I'm so young and coaching fast, you know. And it's just so ironic that in that moment when I was struggling with emotions of losing my dad and being real with God, that I don't understand how you have done this. And that's the moment that came into my mind. It was more like he was saying, but I have long prepared you for this journey. I have long prepared you for this time when your earthly father will be removed, as I have already taken those two who have already laid a seed of worshiping in you. So this the seed that you have to go back to in order to gain strength and to help other people possibly be battling with the same emotions and just bring them healing that you will also find that. So I have found myself being in that space of being vulnerable with my pain, going on boldly trusting that God will help me with a message that will bring hope to other people, because people are carrying so much. It's not only through losing our parents, marriages and relationships. And here is the pandemic that has attacked the world, that is taking so much from people, that has created so much fear, you know, in people. I think that this album couldn't have come in a better time, and that I couldn't have been relevant at a better time, honestly.
And you know, obviously, this is such an important album and personal album to you. What's the album called, and who have you featured? Like, who did you work with on the project?
Okay, the album is called Healing, because I just wanted people to feel God's presence and God's word through those hymns that I strongly believe that, you know, they are spirit filled. There is nothing that you can add or remove from them. It's the word of God can only do so much in people's lives. You know, it's remedial, it's therapeutic, You don't have to add anything with your own strength or power to make it effective in any way. You know what I mean? So I've worked with Nziki on production, Nziki Tele, a very good friend of mine. And it features, there's only one I've worked with, Roni, a friend of mine. Also, I've worked with him on his project previously. Yeah.
Okay. And, you know, it sounds like a very spiritual project. And obviously, like I said, it's an important music to you. And I'm sure your fans as well, they're going to appreciate it. Would you say that because the album is called Healing, I know, you know, a person can never really stop grieving once you lose your loved one. But can you say that, you know, this album has helped you heal since you lost your father?
It has helped me to move forward in so many ways, the fact that I'm able to speak about it, the fact that I'm able to acknowledge the pain that came with it, the fact that I'm able to stand on stage and say, this is how I felt. That it's okay for you to feel the way that you do if you are grieving for whatever that you could possibly be going through. The fact that I'm able to stand on stage and worship again, it is a huge a breakthrough for me. And if that with more talking, with more presence, with sharing the story even more, and the album being released, reaching other people who could possibly also need to hear this message. My mission is accomplished with it, really.
Wow. Choko, thank you so much for your time. You know, I don't want to make it too long, but we really appreciate your time and, you know, your talent and your music. And, you know, I personally can't wait to hear Healing. And especially now, you know, during these tough times, it's messages that are needed, you know? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is there anything that you just might want to add that I might have missed?
Not really. I just want people to be looking forward to the 16th. It's a big day. It's a day of healing. I'm really excited about it. And they must just follow Choko on social media, on Facebook. I'm available on Instagram and on Twitter as well. I'm pretty sure that you have the handles that you will also publish on your on this for this interview on your
Yeah. No. I'll definitely, you know, include them so that people can follow you. Né?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. No.
It.
No. I've got your biography, so I got it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No. Enjoy the rest of your day, né?
You too.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.